Scotland is known for its scenery. After exploring much of the country, I consider Wester Ross to surely be one of the most beautiful and wild regions. Located in the northwest Highlands, Wester Ross has some of the lowest population densities in Europe, with an average of only 1.6 people per square kilometre. Solitude is easy to find here, and even the main roads are often empty. In this remote part of Scotland, you will find lochs, rivers, a stunning coastline, and some of the finest mountains in Scotland. Join me as I spend 3 days exploring the area on a trip that would contain many ups and downs. And welcome to the start of my Wester Ross adventure. So excited about this one. There's going to be a bit of everything. There's going to be some wild camping, some staying in bothies, hopefully even some mountain climbing as well, possibly in the snow. But before we get to any of that, you're probably wondering, with a channel called Dan Extra Street View, why am I starting this video by a road? Well, I've got this road sign here for a reason. This is not just any road. It is the start of what is considered to be one of the most infamous mountain passes in the whole of the United Kingdom. I believe it's called the Balachna Bar, and it climbs from pretty much sea level up to over 2,000 feet. You know, for quite a few months of the year, it's snowbound. Hopefully it will be all right today. And if I come round, hopefully my Dacia Sandero, it's been brilliant so far. Hopefully it's going to be up to the job and the steep gradients. Fingers crossed, I'll see you at the top. The climb was epic and the views from the top spectacular. It was great as well to chat to a cyclist who had tackled the road as part of a longer ride around the coast of Scotland. What a guy. And yet pausing to admire the views across the Isle of Skye blew me away. So, the car is all parked up, left behind. I've parked right down the southern tip of the Applecross Peninsula. As you can probably hear, it is very windy. Apologies for that. Pardon the French as well, but it's bloody stunning. Again, there's the Isle of Skye off in the distance. You can see the clouds, they look pretty mean. That is because they are full of water, which is heading this way. It's kind of a race against the elements. And yeah, it's meant to be quite blowy tonight as well, which is why I'm going to take some refuge in a coastal bothy. Really excited about this one. It looks amazing. I'll tell you more about it when I get there. But yeah, I'm a sweaty mess. It's uphill as per usual. So I'll catch up with you when I look a bit fresher and a bit more out of the wind. Woo! Oh, well, as always, I'm out of breath. The path is going up, 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 and it's just started to rain. So the chances are I'm going to get wet, wet, wet. If I look out, you can look out to sea there, you can see, well, for me, I can just see sort of like a sheet of grey over Skye. It's coming this way. Who is going to win? Dan Ryan or the weather? Place your bets. But if I give you a word of advice, I'd put your money on the weather. I'm trying to motor as quickly as I can, but I've got 5 days hiking in my legs. There's only so fast I can go. Next I'll see of you will be out that bothy. Cannot wait. Yep. Commiserations, viewers. If you put your money on the weather, I beat it. What can I say? Lesson learned. Gambling is a mug's game. You shouldn't do it. But anyway, enough of that. Enough of the lecture. Let me show you around the bothy. So here we go. As all bothies usually do have, we've got the name on the front door. So this one, I believe, is pronounced Uags, or maybe Uags. Anybody knows, please put a comment below. In we come. Just like most bothies, you've got 2 rooms. And actually, I'll show you the main room in just a sec. That is the main highlight. You can see it's a 2-storey affair. I won't show you upstairs, there's not that much to see, but plenty of attic space, nice, lovely and clean as well. Check this out, big old dining table, loads of seating for those that want to have a proper feast, but no fire. But here we go, the main highlight is across the hallway. Check this out. How stunning is this? I've been to quite a few bothies in my time, and this one is one of the cosiest. Got like a full-on sort of like a deer's head up there, and the antlers and everything. cracking open fire, and loads of comfortable seating as well. Look, this one here even looks like the royal throne. I made that one my home already. And look at this, someone's left like a little guitar. It's a shame the three of us actually that are here. Two other guys have just got, two other people are here, a nice couple, but they've gone off for a bit of a walk. But yeah, they've already got all the candles lit as well. Proper home away from home this is. Beautiful and well worth the trip in. Can't wait to settle in, have some food, and just chill by the fire. So there we go. There is the Bothy. It's such an amazing spot. Not only is it incredible inside, but it's beautiful out as well. So there is our building and our Bothy. Check this out. It's got its own private beach. Absolutely stunning. It's the first coastal Bothy I've ever visited. I mean, there are a few in Scotland. I'm wanting to do one for a while. This will certainly do it. I'm not sure how well you can make out like the mountains of Skye behind. They are a bit hazy now because of all of the rain coming in. It's going to be a wild old night, I reckon, but we're going to be safe in that Bothy. Probably not going to film all that much in there, just because I don't want to intrude on, the other people that are staying there. You know, they want to chill out and relax. They don't want me sort of hovering around with the camera. So I don't know how much I'll get, but one thing I am going to enjoy actually is this tonight. I've got some haggis. I mean, I feel quite Scottish being here. You know, I have got my great grandmother was Scottish. That's my link. So yeah, this should go down well. I'm having it with a nice Scottish beer, and I've got some rice as well. You'll have to let me know if you're Scottish and you're watching this and that is a terrible crime that I'm committing, having haggis with rice. Again, drop a comment below. Oh, I'm getting hungry. Water should be boiled now. Let's go and check on it, settle in and chill. As the rain set in and the wind picked up, it was a real relief just to get in and warm myself up by the fire, or Bothy TV, as regular Bothy goers like to call it. And yet the haggis went down well, even if the tin variety isn't perhaps the best one available. But I think the best part of the evening was just relaxing and enjoying the simplicities of life with two strangers who became good friends for the remainder of the night. Well, good morning, adventurers. And I tell you what a great night's sleep that was. You couldn't help but hear that rain that was falling. I tell you what, it did not let up the entire night. And in fact, it's only just stopped. So I've used the break in the weather to come out and get some water. Just been to that waterfall over there. Last night, that was literally just a trickle. And now look at it. So yeah, the walk back to the car, I had to cross a few little sort of small burns. They're going to be like raging torrents on the way back. So that is going to be fun. But while I was up here, actually, I thought I'd show you as well these ruins. Because, when I come to these Bothys, I'm always thinking about the history of the places and, who would have lived here? And I guess these ones here, there's the Bothy. And with these buildings as well, I suppose you had, a small community. You can't help but think about what life would have been like back here, back in the day. It's so far out the way. It's a tough, tough way to make a living. Right, I can feel the rain starting to fall again. There's the sheet of grey coming this way. So I'm going to get by the fireside, get some breakfast in me, and then if the weather does break at all, I might get the drone out. But otherwise, it's back to the car and on with the next bit of the journey. Looking forward to you joining me, hopefully, as well. Yeah, you haven't got to say it. This is clearly payback time for me beating the weather yesterday and mocking you for it if you lost the bet. Oh, this is proper Scottish weather now. As wet as I am, I'm loving it. It's not cold, not that windy, just blooming wet. I tell you, the last week in Scotland, I've been absolutely blessed. I've been so blessed with the weather. If you don't believe you can get glorious sunshine in April on the west coast of Scotland, check out my previous video where I went hiking for 3 days across the Knoydart Peninsula. I even got sunburnt. Not much chance of that now. But I think, I need to get this camera away before it gets sodden with water. It's also a lot harder than coming up because, all of the little trickles have now turned into full-on torrents. So it's going to take a while. Whew. Wish me luck. I'll see you back at the car and in the dry. So here we go. Made it safely back to the car. Pleased to be back now. Rain's just come in again. Look at that view. But yeah, as William Wallace would say in Braveheart, we've just got fine Scottish weather, madam. This is pretty much what you get, standard Scottish weather in April. But I tell you what, as grim as the weather might look, what you can't detect on this film is the smell in this car. It is amazing. And let me show you why. Whoa, that is lunch. And as I made my way to my next destination, I decided to take the coastal road, which offered tremendous views out to sea. And I came across some of the remotest houses I think I've ever seen. I mean, look at this one. But finally, I left the peninsula behind, and as I headed deeper into Westeros, so the mountains got higher and the views more spectacular. That sound you can hear, I've listened to that literally all day. It has pretty much been raining since, well, since late last night, so pretty much 24 hours. I know this is Western Scotland, and I know it's April, but even so, like for a southerner like me, you know, I'm just not used to rain that lasts this long. Mental. So yeah, the plans I had for today kind of went out the window. I was going to scale my first Munro, didn't happen. Then I thought about setting up camp, but even then I just couldn't be bothered with it. You know, getting stoked again, faff for putting the tent up. Yeah, to be honest, I'm going to stay put in the car tonight. It's probably not going to be the greatest sleep in the world, but it's just convenient, so I just don't care. So yeah, there's not much more to report. I promise that tomorrow will be a much more exciting day, and the weather forecast is a lot better. So I'm going to leave you with the views of where I'm parked up, which is by an amazing loch called Loch Marie. Stunning place, and the 4th largest, I believe, freshwater loch in Scotland. So check out these views. Good morning, folks. Yeah, I apologise. Not the greatest place to boil up my water for breakfast, but surprise, surprise, it started to rain again. And yeah, this little spot here is sheltered, so I thought it was as good a place as any. As you can see, I'm still planning to scale the mountain this morning, and conditions are still, well, even though it's starting to rain, it's not as bad as yesterday. So we've got the expedition breakfast ready to go. We'll chow that down, and then I think I'll catch up with you when I'm starting the walk. So here we go then. Finally on my way. I'm so excited about today. My mission, or my target, sorry, is my first Munro, one in Scotland. It is called the Mighty Slioch, or just actually, it's just called the Slioch. I just decided to add mighty to make it sound even more impressive. And yeah, translated, it means the spear. And as we get a bit closer to it, hopefully I'll get some good shots and you'll see exactly why it's earned that name. But yeah, for those of you watching who aren't familiar with what a Munro actually is, the Scots love their mountains so much that they even give them names. So those that are over 3,000 feet, the highest ones, are called Munros. There's over 200 of them in Scotland. Some nutters have done nearly all of them. But this will be my first. But I'll just pause for a minute and I'll come round and I'll just show you where we are. You can probably see, yeah, all that rain lower down fell as snow on the mountaintops. I believe one of those is Ben Eager. Hopefully I pronounced that all right. That is a Munro. And yeah, you might be able to make out sort of more distant sort of snowy mountains. Right off in the distance, they're the Torridon Mountains. Again, more Munros there as well. And plenty of Corbetts, which are those that are sort of, yeah, 2,500 to 3,000 feet or so. So yeah, it's nice and easy going at the moment. And there's no wind at all. I'll catch up with you when the going gets a bit tougher. That will arrive soon enough. It'll almost be Alaska. Yep, the size of the river I was following and just the overall scale of the landscape around me made me think of the Great American Wilderness. I almost half expected to see a bear on the bank. And as the clouds started to clear and I got my first view of the mighty Slioch, it sure looked imposing, and I realised I had quite a challenge ahead. Woo. Well, you can see how high I've already come. It's been a bit of a slog, but the great thing is, as much as the path's not very clear, it's not really boggy, like my previous hikes I've done up here in Scotland. But yeah, it is stunning. I just can't, but if the conditions feel like this, it's going to be unreal at the top. I reckon, not sure if you can make out that water there. Yeah, probably just about. Sounds very refreshing. I reckon I'm going to fill up there as well, have a bit of a drink, and then keep pushing on.
So far, so good.
I eventually reached a bit of a plateau, and I sat here and enjoyed some lunch while just taking in the incredible views around me. And yet, the rest of the hike to the summit saw me leaving rock and grass behind and finally entering the snow zone. I had to get the drone out as well, as the views were breathtaking.
Oh, yes. I made it. 981 metres. The summit. Oh, the summit of Slioch. It's such a relief to get up here. It's been a hell of an effort. It's been about a 3-hour climb. Now, I have stopped occasionally, but yeah, the most amazing thing as well was leaving the car and it feeling pretty warm. And obviously now, it's full on winter conditions. It's not even really that windy either. But I think I need to stop talking and just let these views do the talking instead. It's one of the best views I think I've ever seen. Awesome. Check this out. Oh, it is just unreal, isn't it? The view here is just worth every single step. Breathtaking. That's the only word I can use. But I thought while up here, now we've seen the 360 view, I'd sort of just tell you a little bit about some of the features that we can see. So looking down here, this is the stunning Loch Marie. You know, I was camped by its shore last night. And if you look off in the distance, you can probably make out those islands. They are some of the wildest places left in the United Kingdom. Some of the animals living on there haven't been affected by man at all, which is really special, you know, in today's day and age. As we come around to the north, this area here was explored by Alfred Wainwright. You know, if you're not familiar with him, he's a man that's explored most of the wild places on our shores, and yeah, he called this area the Great Wilderness, the Great Wilderness. Such is its remoteness and scale. You can really see it. Probably make out as well, there is a second summit to Slioch, pretty much identical to this one. So I'm probably going to save my energy and just stay here. Got more Munros there, covered in snow. Look at it, just as far as you can see, it's just mountains and just wild mountain, like a mountainous environment. I tell you, West of Ross is really quite special. Here we go. If we look in south there, we can see sort of the Torridon Mountains. We'll come around there as well. A lot of those are Munros. And yeah, well worth the trip in the future. Wow. Whew. Not too far to go now to the car, thank God. I'm still smiling, but I tell you what, the legs aren't. They're pretty tired. It's been a long old day, but I mean, an amazing one. One that's going to live in my memory for a long, long time, that's for sure. I mean, those views at the top, they spoke for themselves, didn't they? Absolutely cracking. I'm in two minds though as to what to do later. You can see that sun, we've been blessed with it today, but it's starting to turn a bit milky. And yeah, the forecast for tomorrow is absolutely, well, it's shocking. So my original plan was to head to an iconic Bothy and bag another Munro in the morning before sort of heading home. But yeah, I just don't know what to do. So I'll procrastinate and I'll get back to you when I've got some sort of idea what I'm going to do.
Yep, you guessed it. It's been another car camp. Really wasn't part of the original plan. But look at this weather. Again, it's setting like this at about 8 o'clock last night. We're 12 hours later and it's still going. My plan actually was to head to a Bothy, not far from the road. But there was a sign right by the gate saying that there was a work party there. And yeah, there was going to be no space to sleep. Little bit annoying. It looked idyllic. But I suppose, you know, these Bothys wouldn't stay in the amazing condition they're in if it wasn't for these work parties that come out and do their work. So yeah, I'm not going to hold too much of a grudge. And if I come round, pardon the mess, look at the views. I mean, that is just standard views for West of Ross. Snow levels come down a bit lower as well. But yeah, it is pretty grim out there. So the plan actually is to leave West of Ross behind now, head east towards the Cairngorms, because I've got some accommodation sort of a bit further south in Dundee.
Those who know me, you know just how much I love the snow. Can't get enough of the stuff. So yeah, on my long drive south from West of Ross down to Perth, I was passing through the Cairngorm National Park and I thought it'd be rude not to stop and climb my last mountain on this trip. The one I'm heading to actually, not far from the summit, it's a Corbett. I'll give you the name and the height when I reach the summit. Oh, and the views as well, back towards Ben McDewey and the real big boys in the Cairngorm Mountains. I can see them brilliantly as well, so I'll show you that when I get up there. Last few steps. So finally reached the Bothy, got a well-earned sit down and of course some food and drink as well. I'm going to enjoy that. Yeah, it's been such an adventure. I've really loved it. Even though my plans haven't always gone the way they should have done with that weather, yeah, I feel really fortunate to have done it. I hope you really enjoyed the video as well, as much as I've enjoyed making it. If you have, don't forget to click like and subscribe. Always really appreciated. It goes a long way in supporting the channel. You know as well as I do that it won't be long until the feet are itchy and I'm out there again sometime soon. But yeah, until I am, if you're out there yourself, take care, but most important of all, enjoy. Thanks for watching.